Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. Now, I want to say something real quick, and I want to preface this by saying I'm going to just tell you the truth. I don't know if you like this or not, or if you're happy or sad that I'm saying this, but I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. I think it's a very good show. It's right up there with The Wire in terms of the best shows I've seen on TV. But, you know, like a lot of mainstream TV, it's got its issues. I just choose not to make a big deal about the issues, and I just enjoy the show. But I wanted to lay out a couple of issues so that maybe if there are some white people who actually give a fuck about what black people think, you might write this down and kind of take some notes so when you make another big white show, you don't do this same stuff. But again, it's a good show. Everybody who ain't watching it, you don't know what you're missing. Very good show. Check this out. Okay, so here are a few little things about Game of Thrones that some might say are racist as hell, or problematic. Let's just say that. Number one, you have a whole world without black people, pretty much. I mean, you got black people here and there, and I'll point that out in a second. But for the most part, you know, like especially right now in season 8, I don't remember the last time I saw a black person, except for the slaves that were rolling through town, right? Which actually leads to point number 2. In addition to the fact that when white people make movies that are futuristic or about fantasy worlds, they tend to leave black people out. The black people in Game of Thrones are in these weird stereotypically black roles, like there were a bunch of brown people that suddenly appeared and they were slaves, right? And you know, they're lifting the white woman up, calling her something that started with an M that sounded almost like massa, right? Because they love it because this white woman's coming to save them, which, you know, kind of makes it similar to all these other movies where the white person kind of becomes the hero. And then what are some other brown people? The Dothraki. The Dothraki are some big brutish dudes that are filled with toxic masculinity who eat people and kill people for no reason, right? And then I think I saw a black man who was a pirate. I mean, a fucking pirate. Seriously, dudes? Really? I mean, come on now. So anyway, so again, so not many black people in your artificial world. And then 2, the black people kind of have these weird stereotypical roles. Third, there's the really annoying Hillary Clinton moment where all the brown people are so happy that this white woman came to save them that they lift her up and they're all calling her some word. Again, it starts with letter M, sounds like massa. It sounded a whole lot like massa, which was like, oh my God, that's kind of insane. You know, that white supremacy spills over into this fake world. And I, you know, again, it takes everything I have to ignore that because I don't want to be a person that because if I criticized and critiqued every single thing I saw, I would probably watch nothing on TV. I would eat nothing. I would go nowhere. I would do nothing. I would work for nobody. Whatever, you know, because it's kind of tough, right? But again, it's a good show. Just got some issues. Next, the last thing about Game of Thrones that I noticed that's a little bit on the racist side is they have this weird white feminist agenda. And the white feminist agenda is kind of everywhere. You know, it's sort of like this idea of the 100-pound white woman who's saving the world, right? You go see, if you're a Marvel fan, you're seeing this in Captain Marvel, you know, 100-pound white woman saving the earth with her 2 trusty black sidekicks, right? Just like slavery. Slavery was the same way. White woman saves the world and she's got her black people behind her soul sister number 1 who works with her in the kitchen, or maybe the Oprah Mammy figure who used to breastfeed her when she was a little baby. And then you got Samuel Jackson, his character in the Marvel films, or in that particular Marvel film, Captain Marvel, where he's sort of like the black man she can trust, because a lot of us, we're scary, we're filled with toxic masculinity, right? Whatever. But anyway, so you got this white feminist agenda in Game of Thrones, and I know it's going to piss some people off. Black people are going to get pissed at me because I'm even watching the damn show. They're like, well, if it's racist, then you shouldn't watch it. I told y'all, I don't wake up banging over breakfast mad just because I'm a black man. You get heart attacks and strokes from being mad all the time. So I don't stay mad. I just observe and analyze. And then white people are going to get mad because they're going to be like, well, what are you talking about? Why do you have to see race in everything? You're just looking for racism. And see, that's why America's divided, because y'all ain't listening to each other, and that's why y'all don't understand anything. So here's the white feminist agenda of Game of Thrones. In season 8, the lead characters, the leaders, the top people that are in the queen position or possible queen position are pretty much all white females. A lot of the men have been killed. Even Jon Snow, one of the major characters in the show, he is backing up the queen. He's right behind Daenerys Targaryen, right? So you look at you've got Sansa, you've got who's I guess heading the North. I don't know if she's the Queen of the North or the Ward of the North or whatever it is. And then you've got Arya. Arya isn't the Ward of anything, but she's a major character. You got Cersei, who's the queen down at King's Landing. And then you've got Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons, right? So it's all about white women. Like, it's like a white woman's world. And it spills over into the real world, because in the real world, it's all about, white feminism, Me Too, and all this other stuff. And white feminism is different from black feminism. So there are going to be some white people, I'm sure some Game of Thrones fans will come into the video and probably be like shocked. Oh my God, black people think this way. Well, I'm just here to lay it out. I mean, I used to teach white students when I taught at Syracuse University. So I'm used to like that white shock when black people actually tell you the truth. But anyway, I just wanted to get this out. I don't have an agenda. My goal is not to change anybody's perspective. It's just to let you know about some things that I noticed. So I would be curious. I can't wait to see some of the comments. I want to see what the black people are saying. I want to see what some of the white folks are saying. And most importantly, I'd like to see if the black Game of Thrones fans are noticing the same things I'm noticing, or if the open-minded white Game of Thrones fans are noticing the same things I'm noticing. That's what's really curious to me. But overall, I want to say this. I don't know how people are going to take this one way or the other, but I do like the show. I just be real with you. It's my favorite show, right next to The Wire. The Wire was great. Boardwalk Empire was really good. It had a lot of good black characters in that. And then of course the Marvel Cinematic Universe is cool, despite again the 100-pound white woman who's saving the world. It's kind of like interesting how our cinema is very connected to our politics. It's kind of, but then again, Game of Thrones is interesting because it's not a politically correct kind of show most of the time. But when it comes to those things with involving white women and racism or whatever, it's very consistent with the politics we see in the Democratic Party. So it's kind of interesting to watch that. So anyway, go check out the show. I think you'll like it. But then again, maybe you won't. Maybe you don't like me. It's fine. I don't really give a fuck. But take care, guys. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Peace.